everyone! I'm back after a little bit of a hiatus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera ever so slightly. Hopefully, I'm going to keep this going. I'm going to hopefully find out whether the audio levels are right. Just do this. And then what we'll do is we'll do that. Unpause the emulator, because I'm one of these cheeky scrubs who doesn't necessarily have direct access to an N64. But there we go. We are back again with Hybrid Heaven, as you can tell from up there in that corner up there. We'll get my directions correct. I got one screen over here, one screen over there, and it's all a bit wobbly. But hopefully, yeah, we are back. OBS is telling me that we're live, so welcome everyone. We're about to get some sound. Hopefully that's not too loud. Please let me know in the comments somewhere in the chat room if it's too loud or not. I'm not seeing any messages in the chat room yet. It's just up here. But you know, if you do indeed, oh, there he is. It's Squidge. Yes. Hello, Squidgy. How are you? So yes, for those of you who aren't aware, I've already started a game on this. I did a stream of it not so long back. And for those who weren't around for that, essentially Hybrid Heaven is, it was marketed as the Metal Gear Solid for N64. Oh, thanks Squidge, thanks for letting me know the sound's okay, just up there. It was marketed as Metal Gear Solid for the N64, and boy were they marketing it wrong. So let's load this game. What's really awesome, I want to point out, is that Squidge has lent me this N64 USB controller. It has this memory card in the back with a little switch that I still haven't pushed. If you're not sure about what that is, you'll have to wait till next week when the episode drops that we're incredibly excited about. We're excited about all the episodes, but we managed to, because of the hard work that Squidge put in, we managed to take an episode, record it, and get it ready for release in about a day and a half because of all of the work that Squidge does. So I want to publicly say thank you ever so much, Squidge, because he is wonderful. Excuse me. You'll also notice I've got a piece of hardware just here. That is related to the episode that is coming out next week. I'm not going to say what, but I am going to say that Andrew Dickinson is a techno... what is it? Techno Goblin? No, techno Gremlin. That's what he is. Because he talked about this particular piece of hardware and a couple of things that it sat on, and then I went out and bought a replacement for one of mine that's broken. So, with that said, let's get into the game. I hope you're all doing well, and I hope you're all staying safe. But let's take a look. So, what we've got here is we have Hybrid Heaven. Now, I am playing this on an emulator. I'm playing this on Moop N64 Plus. Squidge has said that Andrew is such a bad influence on me, and he's completely right. So, for those of you who haven't played Hybrid Heaven before, I'm about an hour and a half into the game, and I'm playing... the storyline is so blooming complicated. Interesting that they don't really move until I step into the area. The storyline is, as far as I can tell, even though this is one of my favourite games, right, the storyline is... it's like the end of the year 1999, and someone was walking through the New York subway and they got shot. And the character that you started the game as, who is not this character, was grabbed by two men in black and taken underground. You go through a series of runny, jumpy sections, and you end up here. You're still the same character that you started the game as, except that in the game, you were... oh, I've never actually seen the idle animation. Yes. Squidge has put in the chat there, clones, as you can see. That's the story. Essentially, that's the story. A bunch of aliens have come to Earth and cloned a bunch of important people in the hopes of taking over the planet. It's an action RPG, but in an ATB-based action RPG, I won't fight every single enemy loads of times. I'll come on to that in a moment. But what you can do, you see, is I'm moving the analog stick ever so slightly to get him to move. If I move it drastically to the very edges, he moves quite fast. But as you can see, that stamina bar was filling up quite slowly. Anyone who's done active timer battle, let's go with a combo. Anyone who's done active timer battle RPGs will know what that stamina bar is all about. You fill it up and you can do a move. If you fill it up by 2 bars, you can see it sort of flashed there and pinged. If you fill it up twice as much, you're having a... So, yes. So Squidge is having a bit of a tipple in memory of Lady Neville. To Lady Neville. I'd pull one out for her, but that would make a mess on my desk, so... what I'm going to do is I'm going to say take full. If you fill up the power bar twice when you're at a high enough level, you can actually do more than one move. Now the problem is, I can now no longer kick because he's taken out my leg. If I go to kick, you can see the left leg is all greyed out because on the screen, let me move the mouse pointer rather than pointing at my screen, you can see that there's this red glowiness around the leg. That means that limb has been disabled for a small number of turns. As such, there's not much I can do. I can only do right hand attacks. So let's attack him with a 2-hit combo. I would do a flip Squidge, but I don't quite know how to, but we will find out in a minute. So let's just get rid of this guy. No, I haven't gotten rid of him. Oh no. Keep out of his way. Oh dear. Up we get. Oh, bother. Kick him in the shins. I will kick him in the shins, Squidge. Don't you worry about that. So one of the things that this game does is you only start with a specific set of, a very small set of... There we go, kicking him in the shins. There we go. There you go, Squidge. Kicked him in the shins for you. You start the game with a very small set of moves, and you have to build them up by taking the moves. So you got to have the enemy do the move on you to be able to then do the move on them. And you'll have seen that when I was fighting this guy. I'm not doing very well in this fight, I have to say. I think I'm going to die. Oh, almost 11 bits of health left. Yeah, we can do a combo. Let's take him out with a combo. Oh, yes! Took him out with 11 bits of health to go. That's pretty good, isn't it? See, all this, these are all the moves I just learnt. And the interesting thing about the way that this game works is, let's use some green just to get some health, is that the attacks that you do with the different limbs levels those limbs up, and the attacks that you take on those limbs levels those limbs up. So let's say someone kicks you in the shin, like that character did there. I'm just going to go back and heal. The save point is a healing point. When he kicked me in the shin, that left leg and disabled it, it made that left leg get stronger. We're not going to save that. That's it. I got out of that fight by the skin of my exosuit. So, like I said, I'm part way through the game, and if you have joined the previous, I'm just going to run through here. I don't care. The previous streams that I've done on this, we found out that the gargantuans, who are about 3.5 feet tall. So go figure. I'm not going to go into any of these rooms. These rooms are filled with those enemy spawning gates. We don't want to do that just yet. We think one of them has the controls for this window, so we for these bars. So we better go do that. But yes, these gargantuans have come to Earth and they've abducted important people like the US president and cloned him. Whoops. And so what I've got to do is I've got to foil their plans. I'm going to have a quick look around in this room. Okay, check out Skin Man. I'm very well, thank you, Squidge. Squidge has just asked up there, how am I? I'm very well, thank you. Whoops. Let's see if I can do one of these moves. These grabby moves. Let's do a bridge suplex. This is effectively a flip, right? Oh yeah! So the more that I do that move, the more powerful that move will be. I do have to foil their plans with real foil, but only if it's of the tin type. So you're absolutely right there, Squidge. Got to foil their plans, but to do that I've got to fight all of these enemies. Now what I'll do on the streams is I'll try and take on the enemies, the least amount of enemies possible, because I played the other day on a separate save file to see if I could level up some, and it took me 2 hours to get to the next room along from here, because you see the yellow pad? Every time I walk into this room, it will spawn a new enemy. There's about 8 to 10 of them, and the more of them you kill, obviously, the stronger you get. But I'm going to see what I can do about getting to the next stage without actually sitting here and grinding for hours and hours and hours, because that would be unfair on you all. I do have to clear these rooms of at least one enemy because there's a switch in one of these rooms, so I need to disable the switch. Oh yeah! So one of the things that you may be able to see is I've just unlocked 3 hit combos. So I filled those bars up twice, and here comes the third, right? As soon as this gets to 100% full, I can hit him with a 3 hit combo. So what we'll do, so I can either select one, excuse me, or I can say, let's edit, let's go with right, left. Should we go right punch, right kick, or we'll lead with the left, left. So we'll go left, middle punch, yep, 1, yep, the old 1, then we'll go mid right hook, the old number 2, then we'll go with a left middle kick. Look at that. And now I can store that one. I can store it there. And you're absolutely right, Squidge. Squidge just said in the chat just there. Porky Pig got jacked. He got swole. Swole. Get swole hype. He's been finding that protein that Lady Neville found, right? Press F for to pay your respects to Lady Neville, by the way. So now all I need to do is choose that PPK and it will do that combo for me. Now the punches are not so strong, but I need to level those up in case my legs get disabled in a future fight. So let's... Whoa, just out of reach. Get away from me, Porky Pig. See if we can move out of the way. What I want to do is I want to try and attack as he's moving. So each of these combos is only classed as one move. One of the great things about this game is you seem to get more of a boost to your stats when you finish the fight based on the amount of attacks that you do. So we'll just do a 2-hit combo now. And so I've done 4 attacks now, so I'll probably get an A if I'm lucky. Oh dear. Oh. Pile driver, and he learns it. Excellent. Problem is that it's actually knocked me out. You can see the stars across his head. Is this where I'm gonna die? Always gonna get close to dying. If you can get up, that would be a wonderful thing. Please. Up you get, up you get, up you get, up you get. Nope, nope, nope. Death. Get up. Right, before we do anything, we need to get some health. So that takes one of my moves. So now I've done 5 moves in this fight. What I'm going to do some more punches. Because the more, like I said, the more that I use the certain limbs, the stronger they'll get. So I got SS because I did 5 attacks, although it was loads of attacks, right? And you can see some of my stats have increased, yay! But I've learnt the pile driver, which is amazing. Because I leveled up, it's refilled all of my health. Now, it's not this room, fair enough, so let's go to the next room. Skip over this one, go to this one. One of these rooms has a switch in it that I need to disable to be able to lower those security bars. Take a sip for the streaming, man. You're right, Squidge. Have I ever been so angry that I've punched some ham? Problem with this character is you've got to kind of stick close to him because otherwise he poisons you. Try and do the pile driver and knock him out for a while. Don't think it's going to work because it's the first time that I've done it. Nope, it just sort of... Oh, it did. Excellent. Let's do some attacks whilst he's on the floor. You can see that stamina bar. That will only drop so far. Luckily, it won't drop to the very end, I guess. What have we got? The leg deathlock. What's this? Sure, that's a wrestling move. What is that, Squidge? It looks like a figure four, but like a reverse figure four. But yeah, the amount of stuff I have in that stamina bar tells me how many moves I can do. As well as that power bar that's filling up, which gets a bit confusing, but there you go. I'm working on my defense here. Let's see if we can do some punches and kicks and take him out. Oh, missed. Oh. Yeah, look at that. Took him out. Okay. Cool. That was good, wasn't it? So let's get rid of that. Spin around here. There's another door there. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Items. Yeah! Item hype. Calf Crusher. AJ Styles uses it, but in a one-leg variant. Oh, thank you very much, Squidge. Thank you very much for taking the time to educate me on that, because I'm still sort of learning names of some moves, because I'm not the best at wrestling knowledge, but there you go. Let's take a look in this room, see what's in here. Oh, it's Horsey Man. Inside out Horsey Man. Yes. Oh. Good against that attack. Good against that attack. The problem with obviously having wanting to build up the stamina, build up the power bar so that you can do your multiple attacks, is that it takes a while, whereas obviously the enemies can then just be attacking you left, right and centre, which is a bit of a shame. But as long as you keep your dodge game up, as long as your dodge game is good, then you're usually quite good to go. Oh. May have to kick this guy in the shins. What do you reckon, Squidge? Just dodge, dodge, dodge. Let's kick him in the shins. There we go. Yes, so as Squidge points out in the chat there, you can use items that boost your speed. The speed of the power bar filling up, or indeed if you level up a lot, then your power bar fills up a lot quicker. But and that could be good for bosses, you know, when you need a temporary boost, kind of like a haste on Final Fantasy games. But you don't have to use it. You can if you want. It kind of helps. But we'll stop moving. I'm going to see if I can grab him. I'm going to do a brain buster. Like I'm Goldberg, right? Here we go. I know you said earlier on, Squidge, that the audio levels were fine, but are they still fine now that I'm in battle? Where the music is a little bit higher paced and stuff? Give him a kick. Give him a kick and he's gone. I love when you can do that, when you can time it right so they bash against the wall and slide down. That's brilliant. What I'm likely going to have to do... Ninja kick the damn rabbit. Indeed, Squidge. Indeed. Ninja kick the damn rabbit. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie reference right there. Right, before I go anywhere, let's do a little bit more healing. Audio levels are fine. Thank you ever so much. It's difficult to tell because obviously I've got the direct line from the machine into my headphones, but I've played around. This isn't going to work. That's going to be locked. I've played around with the audio levels going into... Yeah, code is no longer in use. So that door, you have a key card, and you have to find these consoles to reset the key on your key card. Every time you go through one of those doors, it resets. So that's like a way for the game to sort of keep you from sort of backtracking too far. When I go through here, I think it's going to go... Nope, okay, so I don't have an enemy spawning here. Let's have a look. So we're good. Aha! Keycard reset device. Yeah, Squidge is saying in the chat just above there, he has a similar setup when he streams. So if I was running on Mac OS, or if I used a piece of software on my machine called Jack, I could reroute the audio. So I could put all of the audio into OBS, and then reroute the output of that audio into my sound card, if that makes sense. And then what I would hear would be exactly how it goes out over OBS. Problem with that is that if I get it wrong, or if I forget to turn it off, then things can go wrong. There's a similar setup for Mac OS called Audio Hijack. Exactly the same thing, it just installs Jack and does a whole bunch of wrapping around it, because Jack itself is all command line based, whereas Audio Hijack is... Whoops. Audio Hijack is very much... very much a graphical user interface. So it's a neat little... I don't want to say little because I don't want to detract from it, but it's a neat user interface on top of Jack. I won't go through there just yet. So this spinny thing here, if I get too close to it, it'll hurt me, so let's not do that. Let's go through here. Right, so I can't go in there. I think something's going to drop down from the ceiling. Yep. Yeah, look, there he is. This guy, to me, looks a bit like ceiling tiles. I don't know whether he's supposed to, but that's how he looks to me. So let's kick this guy in the shins, see what happens. Right? First of all, I'm gonna kick you in the shins. There we go. Oh, and he can't use his right leg, and he's now slow. Haha. That means that he moves slowly, and that his power bar fills up slowly. He's Kebab Man. Thank you very much, Squidge. No, Kebab Man. I'm gonna try and counter this and fail miserably. Oh, look at that. And wallop. Move back a little bit further. See if I can't hit him with one of these. Yes. Ah, look at that. The right punch didn't work, but the left punch did. I'm actually tempted to see what else I can play on here for when I finish this game. It's going to be a good couple of weeks before I finish Hybrid Heaven, but I'm already thinking. You see, for those of you who didn't watch it earlier on today, Squidge finished Maneater. That's why we keep saying press F for to pay your respects to Lady Neville, because Lady Neville is the name of Squidge's shark. Excuse me. In let's save our progress, right? Cheeky scrub save. That's it, right? So for those who didn't watch it, Squidge today finished Maneater. It was like 5-6 parts, and each part was about what, an hour and a half to 2 hours. So he's done really well. Let's go left. I mean, my only choices were go left or go left, but let's go left. Let's pick up these items. Really? Yeah. So those of you who haven't played Maneater, I mean, it was hecka fun to watch. So I can only imagine how much fun it was to play. And I know that Squidge looked like he was having loads of fun playing it, so I feel like I'd recommend it. I feel like it's console exclusive. Is that right, Squidge? Because I remember you saying that it's not out for Steam yet. Or rather, it might be on Epics, but it's not on Steam yet. So it'll be interesting to find out whether it's come out for PC formats yet. I think hashtag don't call me Audrey / the Lord of Darkness in the chat last week was saying that it wasn't out for PC yet. But it is a lot of fun. Coming to PC next year. Oh my goodness. Talk about... I get it. It's a business thing, right? I get why console exclusives exist, because the consoles have to make money, and if you can... There's a door over here as well. Oh, Pokey Pig. There we go. I totally get why it happens, because you got to make money, right? But even so, making the PC gamers wait a whole year, and yeah, I'm guessing it's on Epics for PC, so I'm not even going to comment on that, because I know that Epic isn't my experience as a person, Jay, a progman, this person here, experience of Epics was not good. The Epic Store was not good last time I used it. I noticed, at least on my machine, it was very much a resource hog. I noticed a lot of hard drive chatter and a lot of network chatter, which meant that I started assuming certain things about what it may or may not have been doing. Now again, that's my experience, not everyone's, but it's not for me. I kind of care about my own data privacy. My assumption there, I'm not saying it was, but my assumption was it was doing some kind of data mining on my machine, or data mining on the files and stuff that I had, or maybe it was just doing some integrity checks or something, but it kind of put me off it a lot. That's not to say that Steam hasn't done that, but Steam he's always very, very clear about what it's doing. So I'm more trusting of Steam, because that's the thing, right? It's all about trust. Trust doesn't rust, you know? Let's go with a bridge suplex and do a flip. Oh, heckin' yes. Leveled up the body. Let's do this. Yeah. So, yeah. I totally get it. It's important for business reasons, but not good for end users. But then companies don't care about end users, right? All they care about is the profits. So, fair enough, I say. I don't know why I'm checking these rooms. There won't be anything useful in these rooms, just items and fights, but we may as well take this guy on and see what's in that other room, right? We might get something out of it. There's Scritch with more wrestling terms. So you'll find that with this game, right, a lot of the grapple moves are very, very, very clearly wrestling moves, right? And some of them are even cleverly named wrestling moves. So, you know, when I did that bridge suplex, Squidge said in the chat, you can literally see here, pop those hips like Kurt Angle and Mr. Perfect. Because what you do is you grab them and you go, oink, and pop those hips. Oh, heckin' yes. I feel like I need to build up my arms, so let's do some punches. Oh dear, he's got me now. What's he going to do? Oh, I don't know the headbutt. I didn't learn it. That's a shame. And he's going on his butt again. Oh, careful. Let's give him some punches and kicks. Yeah. Wow. Right arm leveled up, which means the next thing to level up might be the left arm. Should be quite cool if it is. Ooh. Pro tip, try and catch them when they're in the middle of doing something, because he now can't counter, he can't step, he can't take the hit. All he can do is quite literally get hit by it. There we go, you see. Excellent stuff. So there we go. Yeah, what I'm going to do is we'll get to the point where we'll do maybe 2 hours of this. We've already done 30 minutes, so that's pretty cool. We'll do about 2 hours of it. I'll come off of it. I'll do loads of grinding off air. Nah, not hook, man. See if I can get out of the room. Yeah. Do loads of grinding off air, and then we'll come back next time that I stream. You'll see where I got to. We'll be in the same place, just at a higher level. So let's save this. I've refreshed the key, so now I have to go. I've got the key, and I also have the secret, which means I've got the key to another place. What do you think to that? Oh dear. Sorry everyone. What I'm going to do, go over here. Also, next few streams, I may actually be in my home office. So for those of you who don't know, just shortly, so yeah, let me try that again whilst actually speaking into the microphone. For those of you who don't know, just shortly before the incident, please stay indoors. For those of you who There used to be a punch called the... Oh dear. There used to be a punch called the nut shot. But yes, for those of you who don't know, before the incident in October of last year, so October 2020, I was working out of my home office, which is a basement, right? And we had a little bit of flooding. Well, there should be a punch called the nut shot. I'm sorry, Squidge, I misread your message. Yeah, I was working out of my home office and streaming out of my home office. I used to do programming streams. I've kind of gotten back into those, but the last one I didn't do so well. So for those of you who don't know, you can, in OBS, which is the software that Squidge and I both use, whoops, there is a... Whoa, nearly fell all the way down there and died. There is a command to start streaming and a command to stop streaming. Excuse me. Now I foolishly, I set a keyboard shortcut and I was like, yeah, that's not a problem. Keyboard shortcuts are ace, right? Especially if you're into any kind of productivity work. You can build up a keyboard shortcut, or what's called a keyboard chord, which is, so a keyboard shortcut is usually 2 buttons, right? A keyboard chord is usually 3 buttons or more, as if you're playing a chord on a keyboard, like a real keyboard, right? So you would do me or mer or brr, whatever it is, right? So a keyboard chord on a computer keyboard is 3 or more buttons. Keyboard shortcut is usually 2, but there are other apps where you can use 1. So there's an app that I use called called Emacs, where when I'm doing programming I could just hit 1 key and do a whole bunch of stuff, which is awesome. But I'm getting way off topic here, but to try and explain what's going on. So I foolishly set Control S as start stream and Control S as stop stream. I wonder whether you can tell me what happened when I started editing files whilst doing a programming stream and saving them whilst streaming. Let's have a quick look up at these here. Presidential aide, Joseph Ross. Press Secretary, Georgia Anderson. Secretary of Defense, Nick Moore. CIA Director, Don Miller. And featuring Special Presidential Aide, Leonard Powell. So we can't go through that door yet because we haven't refreshed the key. So let's go through this door and see what happens. Let's have a look around here. Okay, we're about to be ambushed. Done. 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 Patrick Weller, United States President. Which means that they have copied the US Pres. And that's the tube that the copy was living in. So now you're going, oh my god, they've replaced the president. We do all make mistakes, Squidge. So yeah, I'm typing away, doing loads of programming and talking through how I'm doing it. I hit Control S to save all the files and the stream stops. I then continue on, not realizing I've stopped the stream, making loads of changes, hit Control S to save the changes, stream starts again. So I have, for that day, I have a collection of streams that were all less than 4 seconds long. So I shan't be doing that again. But for those who are playing along at home, what I do now is I have, so because I do the retro gamey stuff, and because I do the programming stuff, I know that there's a whole bunch of keyboard chords that don't exist in the apps that I use. And so now I'm going to get a stream deck, right? Squidge has got one of these, it's awesome. But I'm running completely on the keyboard, right? I'm going to get a stream deck eventually. But what I'm going to do, what I'm doing at the moment is I'm using Control Shift and R to start a stream and Control Shift and R to stop it. Pro tip there. Use a keyboard chord rather than a keyboard shortcut. Make your life so much better. Excuse me. But anyway, yes. I don't even remember what the original point was, but yes, the point was, don't do what I did. But eventually, see if I can grab him. Eventually what's going to happen is, scoop, slam! Eventually what's going to happen is, I will be, at some point, streaming in my home office again. So it'll be a completely different change of scenery. And the different change of scenery, instead of me looking that way to see you all, it will be looking straight on. Because I'll be able to put the camera behind the monitor so that it's just above it and I'll be able to look at you the whole time. Which some people might like, some people may not. That was the point I was driving towards. You see, this is why Squidge and I are called the Waffling Tailors. Because we almost never get to the point. A point which is proven by something that I will show you later on. When we get to an hour, we'll take a little break so that folks can maybe have a bit of a bio break or take a step away from the game, because it's always good to take a step away from the game, right? But we'll get to an hour and I'll talk about what I'm going to talk about. Look into my eyes. So what I'll need is I will need Squidge to remind me during the mid-game break about what I was talking about waffling on. Because there's a couple of things I want to talk about and show you. We're running low on health, look. See if we can finish him off. See if we can do this. Oh yeah, I don't usually wear earbuds, but I've got them on today. Because I bought some new earbuds for this device, which I will talk about during the break. So there you go. I feel like there's something else I should have loaded in the background for the break. But there you go. We'll figure that out later. Let's go through this door and see where it takes us. I think this is the end of the section. Yes, let's heal. Oh, sorry, refresh. Let's go over here. By the way, do you like my hat thingy? I used to wear this one all the time when I was doing programming streams. Least conspicuous hiding place ever. Dun dun dun. Johnny? Or rather, Johnny? Oh no, I can't. Let me see if I can just channel Bill Shatner, right? Because there's an episode of TJ Hooker where he just sort of sits up in bed, just sits up into shot because he's had a nightmare and he goes, Johnny! That probably works better, doesn't it? Weren't you written, killed in the station by Diaz? What's going on here? What's happening? The clone of Johnny Slater no longer exists. I see. That explains it. Clearly, what they need is Clarissa, right? Because Clarissa would explain it all. Well, don't just stand there. Get in. Sure, I'll just walk in. Why not, right? What could go wrong? This guy is not very good at his job, is he? They know he's the real Johnny Slater, not the clone of Johnny Slater. And he knows that they know, so he's just gotten in. It's quite literal, hey look. You're the original, aren't you? I'm really surprised you managed to survive. I can figure why you're here. Those gargantuans never know what they'll do if they don't keep an eye on them. Well, I guess I can't keep on hiding that I'm not your real... That I'm not the real Kevin, your supervisor. My pride doesn't allow itself to use the term clone. When I was duplicated from the original, I was genetically engineered to become superior to all men in all ways. I may have to take a break in a moment, folks. Yep, give me a second.
Welcome to the Waffling Tailors podcast. Today, your podcast is brought to you by the letters Q, E, F, Yoshi, Chica from Five Nights at Freddy, and this sound. That's very lyrical. Oh yeah.
Welcome to the promo for the Waffling Tailors podcast. I am your promo host, Caprogman, and with me as always is Squidgy. Say hello, Squidgy.
Hello, Squidgy.
How are you, Squidgy?
Hello, Squidgy.
This is a short promo to tell you all about the Waffling Tailors podcast. As you may or may not know, we are the Waffling Tailors, and each episode of our podcast covers topics from the utterly serious to the downright ridiculous. So strap yourself in and prepare to waffle on. See you later, Squidgy.
Hello, Squidgy.
Maybe we should tell the people who are listening what they're actually listening to. Hello again. Sorry about that. Got interrupted. Gamus Interruptus. Put this back in. Okay. What are we up to here? When I was duplicated from the original, I was genetically engineered to become superior to all men in all ways. A genetically synthesized new human race. We call ourselves hybrid. I think you're right, Squidge. I think this 3D model did in fact appear in one of the House of the Dead games. That was it. Okay, I could have just done those two lines. Johnny, don't even think of resisting. Apparently, the house is falling down around me. I missed the lines, but for the Gigantuans and causing trouble. But again, you must understand what you're up against. It's us, the hybrids, who were born to rule all humans. And you know what? I have bad news for you. Ha. Ha ha. I was sent to switch the precedent. And I've succeeded. Dun dun. Of course, none of the stupid humans are aware of what's happened. The human race will be manipulated to the utmost, and a new era of history will begin. The substituted president will begin a worldwide invasion with the strongest military power in his hands. I think it's safe to say this planet is ours, and the entire human race is to be placed under our control. Ha 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 ha. Nearly out of well, that can's empty. You're absolutely right, Squidge. Exposition for the win. Oh, gotta fight the men in black now. So, key strategy with the men in black is to do exactly like I did with the dudes who shoot the poison. Try and stay right on him. Because these guys, they were indeed dancing, Squidge. These dudes have guns. They can and will shoot you if they get too far away. Excuse me, lots of burps off of me this evening, but that's because I'm drinking the beers. Punch, punch, kick, kick. Oh, miss. Yeah, alright. Need to get close to him. I'm gonna pause. Take a pause for the cause. I'm gonna mute whilst I do the can. Lovely. Also, if Budget Christie and Slater can't stop that dude, then send in Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2 Michael Jackson to sort him out. I agree, Squidge. I'm gonna dance all over you, is something that he says in that game. I'm gonna guard. Get away! That's going to fail. Oh, it succeeded. Fantastic. See if I can do some kind of grabby attack on him. Pile driver, knock him out. You can't, yeah, you can't stop my moves. There's another thing that he says. Backbreaker! Backbreaker! Oh my god! Did he go? Oh, okay. I thought I'd killed him. Still not dead. And now he shoots me. That's why you need to stay next to him. Strap beard and backbreaker. Love it, Squidge. A little bit of Tim Vine for you all. Strap beard and late breaker. Yeah. Oh. Do. Speed enhance. We talked about this before, but I want to bring it up again, right? Just look at these wonderful, 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 extremely low poly 3D objects used for all of the items. Just look at it, right? Let's say you found that on the ground. What is it? Let's pretend you can't read what it says. What is it? Right? I think Squidge said it was the My First 3D Objects by Mattel or something stupid like that. He's absolutely right. Look, map viewer. That doesn't look like a device used to view a map. In fact, it doesn't even look square. So there you go. Anyway, just thought I'd show you that. Let's go this way. See if we can find a save point. There's Squidge with his euphemisms. Or is it a me-phemism? That's that saved. So what's great about these cameras? Oh yeah, pick up some items. Yeah, love picking up items. Look at that life charger. Yeah. I forgot to check what part of the game we're on now. Ugh, I should have looked. Let's have a look. Let's just go back to the save room so that I can take a look. Whoops, run around the box. That might be helpful. Yeah. Let's take a look. So we're 3-3, okay. You could you could pick them up all day, but would you put them back down? That's my question to you, Squidge. Or would you just pick them up? So these cameras are different to the earlier cameras, like they got bombs. You have to be careful when you run underneath them. Let's go through here. Oh, no, it's this way. Right, if you walked into a room and that sound was following you, what would you think? So I don't know what I would think. Poison restorer. Maybe I should use that sort of gruff, manly voice every time I pick something up or anytime there's any information on screen. What do you think? 10:30 ship time, Dave. There we go. Some red dwarf quartz for us all there. Super restorer. Gotta shoot the box first. Yeah. It's this way, nothing. Oh. Okay, through here. We're only on part 3 of the game. Part 3, chapter 3, chapter 3, part 3, 3, I don't know. Dun 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 dun. Oh no, that's the real president. I like how he looked over his shoulder, then looked over his shoulder again, then looked over his shoulder a third time, and then just carried on working. Okay. Let's go through. How are you all enjoying this so far? Probably not very much, right? So I'm not that entertaining. There is a guy in here, and I'm going to get blown up. There is a guy in here, so I have to be careful I don't accidentally run into him. It's over here. This seems... It feels awfully dystopian fart music to me. What do you think, Squidge? Open this door. You bloomin' scarped. Let's take this guy on, just the one. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh no, I went to the wrong one. Oh. A lot of this game is sort of standard RPG fare of just standing around waiting for something to happen. I have to say, so there you go. Probably one of the many reasons why it didn't do so well, critically or commercially, because, yeah, Konami went, do you, they kind of went, do you want Metal Gear Solid on the N64? Then you should buy Hybrid Heaven, with all of the things that make Metal Gear Solid awesome, not being included. You should totally buy this game. Totally, right? They completely screwed everyone with this game. They seriously, right? Go look into the history of it. Look into the blog post that I've written about it. Look into, excuse me, the multiple times I brought it up on the podcast. Konami, like, properly went all in with, because the year before this came out, Metal Gear Solid came out, and it was huge, right? Like, everyone I know played it. Everyone I know was talking about it, and even to this day, people don't realize that it's like the fourth game in a series, right? And loads of people love it. Ugh. So that's why Konami sort of leached onto this idea of, hey, if we use this really good game franchise on a different console, everyone will want to buy it, right? But they screwed a whole bunch of people by doing that. I mean, this game is like, this game is similar to Metal Gear Solid in that it's a game that you play on a console. That's about it, really. Oh, now you're talking, Squidge. So Squidge has said in the chat just above my head here, he said, can you imagine this game but with a combat engine for Batman Arkham Asylum? And if I'm honest, that would be loads of fun. Although, to be fair, the Batman Arkham Asylum games, you just sort of mash one button, don't you, to attack? Or have I always been playing it wrong? I'll happily have it said that I've been playing it wrong. That's totally, absolutely fair. Please enter your code key. Please wait. Code key recognized. Current code now being renewed. Renewal complete. Please take the code key. So that's good, right? Okay. So yeah, when I get around to finishing oh, a blobby boy. Blobby boy. These guys are pretty cool. They're a little cute, but when you knock them on the floor, when you knock them on their butts, they leave those green health box thingies behind. So what I tend to do with these is hit them with a relatively powerful relatively powerful attack to knock him over. Like that. Oh yeah, he poops him out, you see. Squid just said in the comments that the fighting system in Batman Arkham Asylum is a little bit more involved than I gave it credit for. But only a little. But yeah, so when I finish this title, which will be maybe 2 or 3 streams hence, right? It'll take a while to get through it because I think it's about a 10-hour storyline. When I finished it, I want to look into doing something else. It could be more N64 games, it could be less N64 games. I don't know. But I'll have to have a think about it. I really liked the other day when I was playing Resident Evil 2 on the N64 and I didn't get really far, but you know, I got far enough. Right? Kind of liked that. Because that port of Resident Evil 2 is absolutely flanging amazing. Gotta say, it's a technical marvel. A 1.5 GB of data onto a 24 megabit cartridge. No, 64 megabit cartridge, so it's about 30 megabytes. Amazing stuff, amazing stuff. Gotta say. Pick up all of these items. But yeah, maybe it'll be more N64 titles, maybe it'll not be. I want to try and be a little bit more... I want to plan these out a little bit more, like, rather than just picking a random game and going, yeah, I'll play that for several streams. I want to try and pick a game that I think I'll play a little bit more and enjoy a little bit more and be able to talk about a little bit more. Because that's why y'all are here, right? Hopefully. Oops, went the wrong way. To watch me play these games and to, excuse me, learn a little bit about them, right? Oh look, there he is. Oh, I've gone all blurry. Sorry folks. That'll be too much of this stuff. Johnny Slater, you won't find the president by chasing me around. We don't need 2 presidents. We are getting rid of the original. We've already sent him off to the organic disposal area. It's too late to panic. Ha 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 ha. He really is running like he's pooped himself there, Squidge. This is where the fun begins. You see, the military power held by the nation above ground is now totally at our hands. Ha 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 ha. Well, there goes the no claims on the insurance. So we've got to go this way. You got to go like around about the houses, which is a bit naff, but there you go. Where's he spawning from? He's spawning from over here. There we go. Ooh, okay. So this guy, opposite of the Men in Black and the whatchacolumns, right? I'm about to get poisoned. There we go. And that's why he's the opposite of the Men in Black. That's it. And the poison people. I forget their names. Alright, Screechy's coming in a minute. Let me just take this guy out. You've got the world's military powers totally at your hands, and yet they still can't get a pizza delivered, can they? They call that progress. Do do doodly doodly do 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 do. After this fight, we'll take a little bit of break away from the game, talk about a few things I want to talk about, and then we'll come back to the game, okay? Just need to kill this guy first. Or rather KO him? That's probably the right term. that'll do it. Pick up the blue spiky ball. Defense enhancer. Let's just do a little bit of healing. Yep, okay. So, what we're going to do is we are going to go like this. That's not what we're going to do. Apparently, I broke it. Just bear with me. There we go. So, bear with me a second, folks. So, I want to talk to you a little bit about, right? We have a podcast. And the recent episode of the podcast, you can see the release date there, July 17th. This is a live stream from July 18th. So, this is hot off the presses, right? In this episode, I'm going to scroll down a little bit. Scroll down nice and smoothly, like. We talked with Alex Anil, or CVX Freak, right? And we talked about his new upcoming book, Resident Evil, An Unofficial History. That's not even the title of it. The Itchy Tasty Unofficial History of Resident Evil. Let's just let that page load a second. This is a book that he has actually gone out. He lives and works in Tokyo, Japan. And he's gone to see a number of prominent employees who worked and work for Capcom, and who have worked on the early Resident Evil games. And his book that he has written is he's up for pre-order on Unbound. It is now I can say, at the time of recording, I read a backer message that was sent out. What's the 151? Ooh, that's a new one. Hey, Squidge, you got $150? But yes, as of a few days ago, the ship date has slipped. Yes, thank you, Squidge. Squidge has said that I've asked him to remind him about Waffling. The ship date has slipped as of a few days ago to next year because of the incident, right? I don't like to talk exactly about the actual thing that's going on at the moment. But let's just go up here and go to synopsis, right? And it's the unofficial history of how the Resident Evil series came to be. Anyway, I'll talk about the Unbound. Awesome, right? Let's just switch back over here. That is the point of this episode, right? And for those of you who don't listen to the podcast, we talk with our guests, with ourselves, about what you've recently been playing, what you want to play, and this episode is all about the Resident Evil book that Alex has put together. Now, we recorded this actually quite a while ago, right? And there's actually something from Squidge's stream earlier on when he streamed Man Eater that I want to point out, which is why I have this other tab open, right? This is when Squidge brought it up on his stream, and you can see he was talking about it there, and I jumped into the chat and said these things. The TLDR, or if you don't want to read it yourself, was essentially we were interviewing Alex hours before the release date for Streets of Rage 4 was announced. And you never make a fool of yourself on the pod, Squidge. We were talking to Alex Anil hours before the Streets of Rage 4 release date was announced. Now, the reason I bring this up is because, as you can see here, his company were involved in producing the soundtrack. Now, we were recording, and he was like, hey guys, sorry to do this, but I have to go in 10 minutes because I have to go and publicly announce the release date for Streets of Rage 4. That's when we recorded this, right? And we were actually under a sort of soft embargo to not tell anyone. You know, we couldn't, because it was a presentation, right? It was a presentation they were making, so we knew that the release date was going to be announced, so we couldn't say anything. So, a little bit of awesomeness, right? Let's close that let's close that tab and come back here. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed to the show, you should totally subscribe to it. And you should definitely listen to this episode if you're a fan of Resident Evil. Let me just scroll back up to the top. I hate doing this because it scrolls really quickly, right? But yeah, you should definitely listen to this episode. Not just if you are a fan of Resident Evil, but also if you're a fan of Japanese stuff, because Alex lives and works in Tokyo. I talk a little bit about Japanese stuff with him, and I do a little bit of Japanese with him back and forth. But But yes, the other thing I wanted to say about was, let's see, what's the best way to do this? Let's go to search. Just want to show off the website and how fast it is. You search for the word 56. Now, the reason that I brought up earlier on about was not being able to get to the point is because of this episode. The first, or rather the zeroth episode of the podcast, where we, in 63 minutes, Squidge, that's the gentleman in that other screenshot, myself, and our friend Chief Problem, we together went through 56 games in 63 minutes, which is a record we still haven't beaten. Right? Look at all of this. This is the list of games, some of the games that we talked about in that 63 minutes, which is amazing, right? But yes, if you don't subscribe to the podcast, you totally should. Go to wafflingtailors.rocks/hour-podcast. I was wondering, Squid, can you go to that page and post it into the chat for me? But yeah, if you go to wafflingtailors.rocks/hour-podcast, you get a page that looks like this, and it tells you all about the podcast. And we have embedded players. I'll talk about the YouTube in a moment. And we have a list of a player that lists all of the episodes in reverse chronological order. So it's the most recent, and you can actually listen to them all without leaving this page, right? Or you can subscribe in a podcatcher. Each of these buttons is a link to a podcatching service that you can actually go to and subscribe. Let's say you are a Pocket Cast user. Well, if you open that up, it shows you the Pocket Cast page. You click that button and you can easily subscribe. Sorted a Rooney, right? Easy peasy. Thank you ever so much, Squidge. So if you check the chat, you can see just here, there's a link. So if you're watching on demand, you can just click that link in the chat, or if you're watching in the future, which we'll talk about in a moment. If you're watching live, you can click the link in the chat. If you're watching on demand in the future, which I'll talk about now, then you can check that out, and I'll put it into the description. Now, on our YouTube, I'm going full on spiel here, but I just want to show people, because some people don't realize that we have this, right? We've actually got playlists of all of the streams we've done, and then split out by title, right? So if you want to watch me play Shadow Man across 4 videos, the 4th video isn't out yet, but if you want to watch me play Shadow Man across 4 videos, there you go, click it there. That's 8 hours of gameplay right there. Or if you want to see me and Squidge playing the different Streets of Rage games, you can click here. This currently is Streets of Rage 4 and the original Streets of Rage. There are 2 new videos to come next week, as of recording this stream, that are me playing Streets of Rage Remake. Doom 64, completed across 4 videos. There's only 3 out at the moment. Squidge's ongoing Evo Land and Chill, which still hasn't finished yet. And of course, all of the teasers. Now, if you don't know, for all of our episodes, we put out a teaser episode, so you can come back and actually listen to what the episode is about. So there's all sorts of teasers from all the different episodes. What's really cool is it's not showed up. I need to move it. So I'll do that later. I can't do it now. But if I go back one and go to videos, there's actually a teaser here. I'm in Firefox, so it shouldn't automatically play. There is a teaser here. Oh, right. Okay. So it is playing. But the problem is, it's not capturing the audio. This is a teaser for next week's episode, as of like right now, where we talked with Andrew Dickinson about his Dreamcast Year 2 book. Now, we did have him on the show before, so if I go back to the podcast and I go to, this is a really cool feature that I added. I haven't fixed it. It's not broken, it's just, you see that one's broken. But if I come over to here and go to Andrew D, you can see where we talked to him in episode 71 about his first book, Dreamcast Year 1, which I have a copy just here. This book here, which is a wonderful book, all about the first commercial year of the Dreamcast being a thing, right? There's a wonderful set of interviews in here and lots of talk about the magazines and the release. So like if you're an American person, you may recognize these adverts. Those are the adverts that you got for American people. Whereas for British people, for English people, we didn't get that. What we got was, it's in the article if I can't find it. It's in the episode show notes, sorry, if I can't find it in the book. We got celebrities like Chris Eubank. If you're not a UK person, he's a boxer. He was playing Dreamcast on release day. And we got football teams, soccer teams. I'm going to put the book back there. We got soccer teams playing the game, playing the console. So if I scroll down here, that's the advertising we got in the UK. That's the advertising you all got in America. So wonderful, right? Anyway, that being said, let's get back to the game, right? We'll go back here. We'll leave it paused whilst I close that window. We'll come back here. So, you'll need a bio brick or anything? I'm okay to keep going on. In fact, I'll probably just keep going. Actually, one last thing before we continue. I want to talk this little device here. This little device here is a Sony MZN710. You can see the details there along the bottom right hand of your screen. Now, unfortunately, the video feed is reversed, so the text will be appearing backwards. This is the second of such devices that I've ever owned. Oh, I left the blue disc in. Awesome. And it actually came with a bunch of lots of really cool multicolored discs. Try and keep it that way, because otherwise you get... That's one of my City Pop mini discs. I have two. Let's put this away. I have two of them. The other one is a lovely yellow one. Look at this. How cool is that? It's pretty gorgeous, right? But I have a disc that is black and gold. Now, for those of you who don't know, in fact, let's go back to that other screen, right? Let's go back to the other screen. I'm just going to do something in the background on my computer. So we're going to go here, right? And I'm not showing you the screen yet. I just want you to... Whoops. I want to set everything up first. So then we can come back later. Now let this page load and then give it a second and it's going to show me the thing. Right, brilliant. Okay, so if I do that, yeah. Okay, so I talked about our podcast, the Waffling Tailors, right? What I also didn't talk about is that this fella here in the chat, aka Squidge, who is this fellow here, right? He is the audio editor for Waffling Tailors, which is a wonderful, silly podcast about video games. He's also the audio editor for the .NET Core podcast, which is one that I create, all about the programming system, the programming framework, the programming technology called .NET Core. And he also edits Tabs and Spaces, which is another show that I'm on. The truth is, you're always wrong. This is about sort of software development stuff that you need to worry about in your career. So it's not really about specific technologies. Wonderful little images that James puts together. So Squidge edits this one too. And as you can see, there we are. And then finally, he also edits The Cynical Developer. So he edits 4 shows, right? And if you actually go listen to those shows, which I recommend that you do if one of them falls into your, if any of them fall into your sort of niche, your interests, you'll see that he's really, really good at what he does. I just want to say that because I'm really proud of the work that he's done. I honestly am. But with that being said, what I also wanted to show you was, let's just close this. Oh dear. I've set this thing to fast forward, which is a bit naff. I'll have to figure out how I've done that. There we go. Right. Don't know how I did that. I managed to set that to fast forward, so there you go. But the other thing I wanted to point out is I have this wonderfully gorgeous, very, very, very cyberpunky black and gold mini disc, which I use for every time that Squidge sends me the finished edit for something. Throw it on here. I chuck it in the mini disc player. Now, the reason for that is because doing this forces me to listen to things at one speed. Now, usually I listen to podcasts at 2, 3, 4, 5 times. No, not that far. Not that far. I'm not that far yet. I used to listen to audio at 2 times normal speed. So instead of talking like this, I'd be talking like this all the way through, and then I wouldn't really stop, and it would go this fast. Now, my brain can actually keep up with that. Not because I'm smart, just because I'm what's called an auditory learner. Whereas if I'm listening through for anything that needs to be edited out or changed or anything, I need to listen to it at one speed, right? So that wonderful piece of equipment there helps me to force me to listen to it at one speed. Anyway, with all that being said, let's get back on with the game, right? I've taken a 17-minute detour away from this. So let's get this done. Or at least let's get further into this game. Please enter the code key. Hey, it worked! So this was the room that we saw the president being shuttled from. So let's go save. A bit of a scritch there. So Screech has said that he said, "You're not an auditory learner, are you?" Because I'm an auditory learner, and it comes up a lot on tabs and spaces, to the point where it actually became a joke about the show. And one of my friends, Paul, or as he likes to be known on social channels as, "Oh my, still alive?" Sorry, I'm doing the actual. "What loads of fun you are. How about it, Johnny? Is the beauty of our plan evident even to you? I saw several stories and movies created by your race when I was above ground, and I must say I was surprised. Does this planet's race really believe that those flashy and utterly ludicrous interplanetary wars could actually ever occur?" Throw a couple of extra words in there. "Very typical of a primitive and foolish species that you are. Brute power holds no meaning in an invasion of planetary scale. Brains, do you understand? Use your head. A species with no ideas is doomed to defeat. So it follows that all of you, living on this planet and caught in a primitive delusion, have no future." Anyway, so friend of myself and friend of all of the shows that I'm part of, friend of that guy, Paul, or as he likes to be known on socials, Paul from codeshare.co.uk. Ding. No, that's for the cynical developer, innit? He likes to point out that I say that I'm an auditory learner way too much. And he likes to point out that I give examples way too often. You know what I'm going to do, Squidge? I'm going to kick him in the shins. I've had enough. Let's kick him in the shin, shall we? Ah! That got him, didn't it? Doom, 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 doom. So Scrooge is saying that yes, he agrees that these gargantuans are indeed superior, but have they ever heard of millionaire shortbread? I think not. He's absolutely right. I don't think they've ever heard of millionaire shortbread either. I mean, which video game race have heard of... I'm gonna end up on my butt here. Which video game races have heard of millionaire shortbread? In fact, let's talk about that right now. Which video games would have been enhanced by having millionaire shortbread as an inventory item you can carry around? Itchy nose today, I'm very sorry. Do a bit of guarding here. Kind of regretting buying these earbuds, you know, they're not very comfortable. I'll show you them in a moment. They're the ones that sort of hook behind your ear. But I think they were molded on maybe Something that doesn't have human ears. Yeah! Got him. There we go. Pick up this blue circle-y thing. Go through here. Remember, I'm not gonna grind in this area. What I'll do is I'll get to the point where we stop streaming, and then I'll grind. Like, I'll grind off air. Because y'all don't need to see me do that, because that's kind of boring, right? We don't actually make any progress in the game. Let's just squeeze up to this guy. What would... Ooh! What are we saying here, Squidge? Is that maybe the next game I should play, or what? So, Squidge has said just here, Super Mario Brothers, maybe? I don't know what he's... Oh! No, I get it. Super Mario Brothers would have been enhanced with Millionaire Shortbread as an item. You're right. It would have. Absolutely. Maybe the next Super Mario Brothers RPG title can have... Millionaire Shortbread as some kind of item. I remember I got all the way to the end of one of the Paper Mario games, right? It was the one on the 3DS/2DS. I got all the way to the end and couldn't defeat the boss. I gave up on it. So I'll never know how that game ends. Wonder what I'm missing. Yep. Well, that was a bit of a weak punch, wasn't it? Just listening out for the house falling to pieces. Yeah, they got him. That's the one. Yeah, you're right, Squidge. So just here, Squidge has said that yes, the 3DS one is the one where you use the stickers to do the moves and the power-ups and stuff. Yeah, I'm sure it was loads of fun for other people to play. I didn't really like it, but I'm not everyone and everyone's not me, right? We've all got our own tastes. Ugh, another one. We've all got our own tastes and our own choices. Again, the house is falling to pieces. We all have our own tastes in video games, so it's not for me, right? But I got all the way to the end. Excuse me, all the way to the end, so just didn't finish it. Unlike Yoshi's Crafted World, which I almost literally at one point could not put down. Absolutely love that game, and I think I said to Squidge on one of the early episodes of the podcast when I started playing it was, playing this game is what happy feels like, and it really is. It's absolutely wonderful to play. I mean, it's a Yoshi game. What could be... It's very hard to get those wrong, right? You've got a Yoshi and you go from left to right and you pick some things up and all that kind of stuff, so it's actually really hard to get those wrong. So the reason I keep wicking my head over there is because y'all are over on this screen and the game is over on this screen, so I need to sort of keep an eye on what's going on. Ooh. Exactly, Squidge. How can you be upset about running around as a Yoshi dressed as a cardboard car? You can't. It's that simple. You can't be upset about it. It's one of the greatest things ever. Ugh. This guy's never gonna die. More of the house is falling to pieces. There we go, I got him. Scratch the back of my head. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I could do another N64 game once I finish this one. Or perhaps a PlayStation game, or a Dreamcast game, or... I might throw it out to Twitter to help get folks to help me, or rather to get folks to help me to decide which game I'm going to play. Because I think it'd be quite interesting to get folks from the community to help me out, because there's a whole bunch of games that I have played, and I'll happily play them again. Oh, jeez. Or there's a bunch of games I haven't played, and I'll happily play them too. And no, Squidge, I am not playing Superman 64. I prefer to play games for fun, rather than to get completely annoyed at them all the flanging time. Excuse me. Look here. Should I kick him in the shins? I'm going to kick him in the shins, I think. As soon as he stops moving, kick him in the shins. Look, I'm only not going to... Squid just said that I'm no fun, right? I'm only not going to play Superman 64 because it's a terrible game, from what I've been told. Never actually played it. Maybe I should. Ooh! Tell me I can learn it. Ah, that's a real shame. Ugh. It's a shame that sometimes you can just straight up learn the moves. Sometimes you have to be in some kind of weird, funky setup to be able to learn them. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep moving. Get my left earbuds come out. It's making me feel a bit weird and dizzy. What's this doing this combo? Oh well. You know what, Squidge? Maybe I will play Superman 64 on stream and just let the chips fall where they may, right? Let's see what happens. Maybe I will. But if I don't pick Superman 64, what should I pick? Do you know what? You know, if I could guarantee that I could get your help, Squidge, I could totally do a Pokemons, right? Because I haven't played any Pokemons since Pokemon's Blue. And then if I get stuck, I can say, oh, Squidge, help! Good point, good point. Power Stone on the Dreamcast. So we've got a list of games that I could play already, right? We're talking Superman 64. We're talking perhaps a Pokemon's game. We're also talking perhaps Power Stone, you know? All I've got to do, all I have to do is get myself one of those devices what Squidge has got that lets me plug in something via HDMI into the computer and pray to the overlords of Linux that it actually works on my computer. And if I did that, oh, 1 second. Hey, I'm right here. Johnny, why do you fight? Out of love of all humans? You humans are governed by love too much. But after all, your love is nothing more than an excuse for violence, a conceit to preserve peace that's no more than an illusion. Isn't it meaningless that you're fighting all by yourself for such worthless humans? Isn't it? What do you think? You're clever enough to figure that one out? Give it up. You'll feel better. And then he runs away. So, yeah, we've got perhaps a Pokemon's, perhaps a Superman 64, perhaps a Power Stone on the Dreamcast. Lots of options. Let's go have a look down here. So Squidger said, yeah, if it's a Pokemon's, I should try Pokemon Fire Red. Is there a... That's the... Is that Game Boy Advance? I feel like it is, isn't it? And then... Oh yeah. Johnny does not love humans, he just loves to fight! Like that. So, just loves to fight. What's going on in here? Yeah. So what do you all think of Metal Gear Solid for the N64 so far? I think it's this room first. This room is the best room ever. Was the gameplay buggy as hell in the original? I don't remember that. Oh no, I have to fight a lady. A speedy lady. A runny, speedy, jumpy lady. Lady. Ooh. Yeah, I didn't realize that the original had such buggy gameplay. Oh. Oh, there you go. Today I learned that the original Pokemon's games had loads of problems. To be fair, it was all written apparently by one person and in assembly language, which is like writing a book in English but using Latin. Like writing a book in Latin and then translating it into English. That's what it's like. It's quite interesting. Having a bit of a dance there. Ugh, will you just not live? That's the noise he makes when he gets kicked on his butt. Oh. I think if you grind constantly up to this point, you can have over 1,200 health, which is quite useful. But just like all other RPG titles that have ever been made, the enemies get stronger as you get stronger. Ooh, freeze shot. Da, da, da. Push this button. Can I push this button? No, I can't push the button. Okay, let's jump over here. Maybe I can shoot it. Nope, okay. It's not a gun, it's a diffuser. Diffuser. Fuser. 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 Through the door, please. Aha! The man in black. It's a smooth. Can I imagine your face if Segata Shanshiro was an enemy in this game? He ain't, but still. Well, if he was an enemy in this game, it would make my day. Every day. Segata Sanshiro, Segata Sanshiro, Sega Satan Shiro. A little bit of a sing-song for you there, folks. Because Segata Sanshiro is indeed the greatest video game hero of all time. There will never be a video game hero / advert character who will ever best Segata Sanshiro. Get off of me! Ah, going on my butt again. Ooh. Listen to me, Secret Service man. Punch, punch, and kick. Wow, one of those punches was over 100. That's quite a lot. Oh! Oh! And a good old left kick. Oh! That is true. The companion cube is a very close second. I have to say, Squidge. Ooh, learn it, learn it. Ah. don't know what it is you've got to do to actually be able to learn these moves. I wish I could just learn them. I think there's game shortcodes for unlock all moves and stuff, but who cares, right? Yay! Disabled that force field. Do you remember, Squidge, in Portal? I think it was in the first Portal where you have to throw the companion cube into the fire. That was distressing. One more tin of beer, can of beer, tin of beer, can of beer, whatever. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mute myself. That's the face I make when I open a can of beer. So l'chaim, or indeed kampai, or cheers, or yeah. Okay, now let's go through this door. Hail and cheeky scrub save. I don't think I can go through this door. Nope, because it's no longer in use. I love those little beep beeps. They're awesome. Ugh. Please wait. Code key recognized. Current code now being renewed. Renewal complete. Please take code key. It's this way. Oh, nothing. Okay. We'll run back that way. Love that. Reminds me of the sounds of Omoide from You are stubborn. How much farther are you planning to follow me? You want to keep on listening to me? Then fine. What shall I talk about? How about talking about your girl? Yes, let's talk about Holly. An intelligent, beautiful woman who works at the UN headquarters in New York. Don't I know a lot? Surprised? I have data on her in the memories I inherited from my original. I don't know if you remember, but she was there when you killed your own analog, you know. Flashback to the beginning of the game. Do I have to continue my talking? She's not waiting for you anymore. You're the only one waiting to see her. She thinks that you're dead. And with humanity's fate sealed, Ollie's life would end too, in all likelihood. I'm sure you would love to tell her that you're alive, and then protect her. But that is not happening. You know why? Because you'll die here alone, down here in the bowels of the earth. Hate this bit because I always get lost. I think you're right, Squish. I think that I should do a one-off stream of Soul Edge so that you all can see my fighting chops, which is not very good. I'm not that great at playing it, but I will happily cause you all the distress of having to watch me if you want. Around here? I'm here, Johnny. Cheer up, Johnny. I just thought of a way to make Holly happy. Listen carefully. I'm going to create another analog of yours and then send him overground to Holly. What do you think? Brilliant, isn't it? Don't worry. Your analog will play the part of Johnny Slater to perfection, and Holly will not have to cry. There's no time to think about it. We are in the process of taking out the memories from the president. The memories from the original will be moved to our new president, and the analog will be completely functional. What are you going to do? This is your last chance to Sorry everyone, this is your last chance to decide. Sorry to tell you, but the chances of you and Holly seeing one another once again is close to 0. You need a copy before it gets too late, right? I'll accept your request now. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, the sound that reminds me of Omoide from Martian Success in Nadesco, one of my favorite anime ever. Ooh. Shiny. I am grateful to my creator, the master, for having given me life, not as a mere copy of foolish humans, but as a hybrid. Now that there are as hybrids on the planet, you humans are an antique. From now on, it is we, the hybrids, that should rule the planet. We can no longer have you running around. This is where you die. Now, wow, take it easy. What if I switch to Christopher Walken? It wouldn't be dignified. I can't do it. Wow. It wouldn't be dignified for you to be dispatched by me in this old man's guise. The dude don't even know how to villain. You're absolutely right. Since you've come along the way to my office, why don't you take a look at my other form before you die? And know that you humans, no matter how much you struggle, will never be a match for us hybrids. And having learned this, die. Excuse me. I don't think my Christopher Walken impression is very good. Dun, dun, dun. Mortal Kombat. Ah. Should have done it as Arnie Schwarzenegger. And you will know this. And you will die. Ah. You have to die. For everyone to believe that you are dying. That's the other thing as well. He knows how to do combos. Excuse me, but only at the level that you can do it. Here comes another combo. Do do do. Ba, ba. I think with this guy, the key is to try and stay as far away from him as possible. Do, 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 do. See, that's why I wanted to build up my legs and hands, because now I can't kick anymore. Get off of me! And dead. Oh, okay, that's fine. Up you get, up you get. Here comes another combo. Ugh. Right, heal. Ugh. But now I can do this. Haha! Don't think I'm going to be able to do 3-hit combos every time. Nope, I'm going to walk into this one now. Badly timed because he's going to step away. Get over there. Do, 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 do. And he steps out of the way. Oh, no he doesn't. Okay. I'm going to beat you. Let me kick you in the butt. Get off of me. It's the best you're going to get out of me at this time of night, folks. And hop. Give him the old 1-2 double knuckle shuffle, you know? Yeah! Let's drop him on his head, huh? Excuse me, lots of burps today. This beer is very gassy, but also very yummy. Punch, punch, and kick. What I need to do is I need to make sure that the next set of attacks is more than 200 before he heals again. Let's do that. Ah. I don't think I'm doing enough damage here. But we'll keep at it. We'll keep at it. Because what's the worst that could happen, right? I keep at it and he doesn't die. Okay. What I need to do is make sure that I'm taking down more than 200 each time that he heals. So rather than waiting for the... Yeesh! High five! Yes! Got him! Doody 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 doody. Ooh. Yeah. Double check in here, there's nothing in here. Okay, fair enough. I did indeed, Squidge, you're absolutely right. I high-fived him in the face with my fist. We're coming up on 4 hours in, and not even 4 hours. 3 hours in the game, I think, last time I saved. And we've beaten who we think is the big boss. Yay! Well, we've rescued the president. Oh, yeah? Are you a bad enough dude? Johnny Slater, that memory card slotted into that device. The enemy is trying to remove all of the president's memories. They probably intend to move the information into a false president above ground. As you can see, they're right in the middle of the process. I've been trying to reverse the device's flow and rescue the president, but it looks as though it's locked against access unless you have the memory card. We're running out of time, Johnny. Quickly, the memory card. Quickly. Good. I have access now. I am channeling the president's memories back into him. Yeah, sorry folks, if you've got photosensitivity, this section of the game is just, it's no good for you. He made it. He's all right. He will live. It was close, but the president is okay. The memories that were momentarily removed should be back as well. And now, Johnny, I know I haven't introduced myself, but I know you've heard about us from my companions. Our hideaway is nearby. You should head there first. It's possible that the enemy is already aware of its existence, but it will be at least safer than here. Let's go. The important thing is to get the president to relative safety first. Music there is awfully Panzer Dragoon Saga, right? We're safe for the time being. The president is alright. He's suffering from temporary shock, but he should be fine very soon. Oh, I keep bashing the microphone. Sorry, everyone. See if I can find a save point. Oh, gargantuan's talking away. I think what I've got to do is I've got to go through here to get to the save point to come back. I think that's the trigger for the next bit of the story. The next bit is to go down that It wasn't a mini disc, my dude. It definitely was not a mini disc. I can tell you that much for nothing. Stamina charger M. Talk to this dude. There is one way to destroy this subterranean shelter. All you have to do is reactivate this currently non-functioning starship of ours. Excuse me. We need the navigator to start up the ship, but the navigator was taken away by the enemy. The navigator is our starship's controlling brain. Unless we free the navigator and bring him back to the starship, the ship cannot be activated. If only we could get the navigator back. Even we have a chance of reversing the situation, but we lack the physical capability to do this. So I need to go get the navigator. We'll save here. I think, barring one last thing that I want to try out, barring one last thing, that'll do it for the stream, I think. Save completed. Alright. Cool. What I'm going to do is we shall go like this, right? I'm going to go... Try and figure it out. Well, I know what I'll do. I know what I'll do. Bear with me a second, folks, because I want to show you something. Doot, 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 doot. Dooty doot. Go back. Close that. Okay. What I want to show you is this. Okay. There we go. I'm going to have to move the screen, though. It's a bit naff. Let me just do... Whoops. Sorry about that, folks. Let me just, whoops, do this. Yeah. Aha. How is that? Right on the edge. Lock it in. Okay. So this is a game that I created in about an hour years ago. I brought it up on an episode of the podcast where we talked with Eben Upton, which came out last week, right? This is the genius bit, right? I'm just going to go like this for now, right? Because I want to go like this, right? We talked to Eben Upton, who is Mr. Raspberry Pi. I'll talk less about the podcast in a moment. During this conversation, I told him that I'd written a silly game using JavaScript, right? And I refresh the page. And what you do is you use the arrow keys on your keyboard, excuse me, to run away. The longer that you run for, the slower you eventually get, because your character has a stamina bar. You're like, oh, run. And then eventually, it needs to be rewritten to make it more obvious that you're going to slow down. Eventually, after about 20 seconds, constant movement, your character runs out of energy and just literally stops moving. Just keep this going, right? This is hypnotic. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, we're starting to slow down now, you see. And what happens is, the baddie that you're running away from gets slower, gets faster, and you get slower. The idea is to last as long as flaming possible. Oh, I'll just intentionally die, because he's got to catch you. So, that is at this URL, which is hard to do, but Scritcher said that the next section of the story is behind a paid DLC wall, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was. This website here, runaway-game.netlify.app. It's a really stupid game that I put together. I think it's loads of fun. And when I've showed it to people, they've sat and played it for hours and just tried to build up that score. Because you can see, hopefully you can see, I've got a score of 58.72. That's 58.72 seconds of life where I've survived. And it's kind of silly. And it actually works on mobile as well. So if you load it in your phone, you can actually drag your finger around and the player character will run towards the finger, which is pretty cool. But that's all I've got to say about that. With that being said, that was me attempting to play Hybrid Heaven Part 2. And we will come back to this the next time I stream, potentially next week, hopefully next week. Yeah, hopefully next week, as long as everything goes to plan. I did take a break from this for a short while, and that will change from going forward. I shan't be taking that many breaks this time. But with that being said, I want to thank you all so much for joining me on this little journey, where I talked a little bit about the podcast and the website, a little bit too much about the podcast and the website, I think. Talked a little bit about the game that I've made, called Runaway. The code is available for free as well, so let me show you that as well. Let me just do this. I'll pull up the code for you whilst I'm here. So I've actually got the code. I should have a link on the JavaScript, I think. JavaScript game, yeah. So I'll put the link into some kind of thing, right? But if you go to github.com/kaprogman/JavaScript game, this is the source code for the game. So if you want to try it out, if you want to copy it, if you want to make changes to it, if you want, that's totally fine. It's a GPL2 license, which literally means y'all can do whatever you want as long as you say, I got this code from Jay from Waffling Tailors, and you link back to this page. Totally fine. Let me just dismiss that little pop-up. And yeah, you got a little description of how that all works. And so, yeah, excellent. With that being said, let's move back to that other tab. Excellent. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, give us a little like or whatever it is that you do on Twitch. And definitely check out the podcast. And I'll see you all again really soon. Stay safe, everyone, and continue to be awesome. Okay? Right. I'll see you later, folks.
Nice. Nice.